Hello everyone, welcome to Karma Education. This is the channel for UGC NET education subject and it has a target to cover the whole syllabus of UGC NET education subject. Sankhya philosophy includes in Indian schools of philosophy that has been discussed in previous lecture. In this lecture, I am Konkona Pal going to discuss about yoga philosophy. Six systems of Indian philosophy or Shardarshanas are known as orthodox philosophy or Astika school of philosophy. They accept the Vedas as an authoritative source of knowledge. Yoga philosophy is one of them. Sankhya, Nyaya, Vedanta, Mimamsa and Vaisheshika are the other systems of six systems of Indian philosophy. Now, Sankhya Yoga philosophy. Sankhya and yoga philosophy has some similarities. Sometimes both are called as Sankhya Yoga philosophy. The similarity in terms of both beliefs in two realities in the universe, Purusha and Prakriti. And they are similar in terms of the concept of liberation. Imbalance of gunas, satya, rajas and tamas or spiritual ignorance, what we call avidya, creates a form of bondage. The end of this bondage is called liberation or moksha. By both the yoga and Sankhya philosophy believes these concept of liberation. Then ethical theories. The ethical theory of yoga school is based on yamas and niyamas, which are similar elements of the guna theory of Sankhya philosophy. Now, what is yoga philosophy? Yuj means to join or to unite. Yoga means to join individual or jivatma with supreme consciousness or paramatma. Samadhyam yoga uchyate. Yoga is balance. Bhagavad Gita says that yoga is skilled action. Yoga karmashu kaushalam. Yoga is union between Purush and Prakriti, or you can say Shiva and Shakti, or realizing Brahma. Yoga deals with the obstacle of the mind and how to purify the mind so that it is an aid rather than hindrance on the inner journey. Yoga science rests on the twin principles of cultivating practices, abhyas that brings stable tranquility and non-attachment, vairagya. Yoga focuses on discriminating in meditation between consciousness, Purusha and the matter, Prakriti in all level. In that way, one comes to know the pure consciousness in its own way. Yoga shows the pathway of self-realization. Yoga is practical approach to achieving ultimate goal of life. It is systematically deals with all of the levels of one's being as they strive to experience the eternal center of consciousness. Consciousness, it means Satchidananda. Sat means being, Chit consciousness and Ananda or bliss. Now, the history of yoga philosophy. Pre-Vedic shamanism 4500 BC and prior. Shamanistic practices as purification, healing and meditation ritual. Then Vedic era 4500 BC to 2500 BC. Vedic texts covers rituals, sacrifice, mantra and devotion. Then pre-classical or Upanishads and Brahman period 2500 BC to 100 BC. Many consider this is the primary source of yogic tradition. Epic age, it means Bhagavad Gita age 1000 to 600 BC, focuses on selfless actions, karma yoga, devotion, bhakti yoga and wisdom, jnana yoga. Then classical period, Sankhya system 100 BC to 500 AD, primary text Sankhya Karika written by Ishvara Krishna in this period. Then Yoga Sutra of Patanjali, 200 AD, classic text outlines the Ashtanga of Yoga, 8 limbs of Yoga. Then post-classical period, Sankhya period, 500 to 1000 AD, provides basis of Hatha Yoga. Advaita Vedanta, 800 AD, Shankara articulates non-dual thought, later adopted by most later forms of yoga and is shared with Tantra and Hatha Yoga. Shiva Samhita, 1750 AD, combines Advaita Vedanta philosophy with Tantric anatomy and Hatha Yoga practices. Swami Vivekananda, 1893, author of Raj Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga, key texts describing contemporary yoga tradition. Now, yoga is broadly divided into two divisions. One is classical divisions of yoga and second one is contemporary practices of yoga. Classical divisions of yoga includes Raj Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga, whereas Hatha Yoga and Kundalini Yoga are contemporary practices of yoga. Now the first one is Raj Yoga. This is the resplendent yoga of spiritual kings. It is a comprehensive method that emphasizes meditation. Raj Yoga is the path of willpower. It is also known as Patanjali's Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga. 8 or Ashta limbs or Anga together makes the word Ashtanga Yoga. 8 limbs are divided into two parts: Bahiranga Yoga, indirect way to moksha, and Antaranga Yoga, direct way to moksha. This is the chart. If you go through this chart, you will get the clear picture of the divisions of Raj Yoga. The broad division is Bahiranga Yoga and Antaranga Yoga. Bahiranga Yoga is subdivided into 5 parts: Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama and Pratyahara, whereas Antaranga Yoga has 3 divisions: Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi. Bahiranga Yoga, indirect way to moksha. First division is Yama, social discipline. First line of the Eightfold Path. It talks about code of conduct, self-restraint. It helps attain a healthy mind and body. It is oriented toward our public behavior. It allows us to coexist harmoniously with others. The yamas are ahimsa, non-violence. Then satyavachan, truthfulness. Asteya, non-stealing. Brahmacharya, sexual purity. Aparigraha, self-reliance. Niyama, self-discipline. Second component or anga of Ashtanga Yoga, rules for self-discipline. Yamas are moral and prohibitive, whereas niyamas are disciplined and constructive. Yamas provide ethical foundation and niyamas provide physical and mental foundation for furthering studies of yoga. Yamas are reactive, whereas niyamas are active. The 5 niyamas are shaucha, cleanliness or purity. It has 6 major categories: Shat karmas, dhauti, basti, neti, tratak, nauli, kapalbhati. Then santosha or santosh or contentment, tapa or heat or self-discipline. Swadhyaya means self-study. Then Ishvara Pranidhana, total surrender to God. The third line is asana, yogic posture. Hatha Yoga says that having done asana, one gets steadiness of body and mind, diseaselessness and lightness of the limbs. This is dynamic extension from and toward the core. Classifications of asana: standing asana, then sitting asana, then prone asana. Prone asana. Prone describes the position of your body when you are laying on your stomach, face down. Then supine asana. Supine means laying in a face up position. It is the opposite of prawn asana. Okay. Then topsy turvy. In topsy turvy position, the top or head will be downward. The fourth line is pranayama, mastery through breath. Mastery over prana, lengthening of prana. Prana is the pre-existing force which continuously following our body. 5 types of prana is there: apana, samana, prana, udana, vyana. Pratyahara, mastery over senses. Prati, yog, ahara, withdrawal of food. Withdrawal of food for sense organs or moderation of food for sense organs. Now, Antaranga Yoga, direct way to moksha. This is the direct way to get moksha. 3 steps are there: dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. The 6th lines is dharana, concentration, binding the mind to a particular place, single object, or single thought, focusing, less energy expenditure and less tiredness. Then dhyana or meditation. It means uninterrupted flow of thought. Features of dhyana is wakefulness, awareness, expansiveness, slowness, effortlessness. Okay. The next one is samadhi or freedom. The object alone shines. Our own reality vanishes. It means becoming one with the scene or object or God. This is the higher level of consciousness. This is the stages, you can say, that from yama to samadhi, how one can move from yama to samadhi to get moksha or liberation. It includes the eightfold path: yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. Now, the Jnana Yoga. The word Jnana signifies knowledge, insight, and Jnana Yoga is accordingly the yoga of Gnostic knowledge. According to Swami Vivekananda, sometimes Jnana is also employed to express the highest truth bearing illumination. But in the compound Jnana Yoga, it is used in the sense of intuitive philosophical searching or discernment. Jnana Yoga consists of 7 parts. First one is Viveka. Viveka is a metaphysical discernment between the real and unreal, the eternal and the finite, the human personality and the supra-personal self. Next one is Vairagya. Renunciation. Renunciation of all worldly and heavenly objects. Tapas, austerity, which is composed of the 6 treasures: Sat Sampatti, which are Shama, tranquility; Dhamma, self-restraint; Uparati, mind control; Titiksha, endurance; Samadhana, contemplation; Shraddha, faith. Fourth one is Mumukshutya, longing for emancipation; Shravana, listening to the sacred lore or teachings of the Guru; Manana, reflection on what has been heard; Nididhyasana, meditation on the doctrines revealed by the teacher or the scriptures, ending in ecstasy or samadhi. Now, Karma Yoga. Karma means action. Yoga means union. Karma Yoga means yoga or union through action. If you can joyfully involve yourself in any activity, that is Karma Yoga. By detaching yourself from the fruits of your actions and offering them up to God, you learn to sublimate the ego. The Bhagavad Gita gives a summary on Karma Yoga that you have the right to action only. Each and every karma begets an immediate result called Karma Phala and leaves behind a sanskara or deep impression on the mind or chitta. Man becomes free from sanskara only after it has faced its fruits or consequences. The fruit or consequences may be in the turn creates further sanskara and the further karma. In other words, whatever karma we perform, we have to pay for consequences. Enjoy the pleasure if the karma is good, or suffer the pain if the karma is bad. The law of karma yoga is a cosmic justice. Three types of karma is there. First one is Sanchita karma, the vast store of accumulated actions done in the past, the fruits of which have not been reaped. Then Agami karma, the action that will be done by the individual in the future. Prarabdha karma, the action that has begun to fructify, the fruit of which is being reaped in this life. In this birth, death, rebirth cycle, first comes desire. Desire drives to do some action, and action creates experience. Experiences forms in impressions, and then impression forms desire. This is the birth, death, and rebirth cycle. Now, Bhakti Yoga. The terms Bhakti comes from the root Vaj, which means to be attached to God. Bhakti is love for love's sake. There is no selfish expectation here. There is no fear. It is called Param Prema Rupa, intense devotion and supreme attachment to God. The object of bhakti is God. Love cannot be without a subject and an object. The object of love again must be at first a being who can reciprocate our love. Therefore, the God of love must be in some sense a human God. He must be a God of love. How bhakti develops? First, you have to faith on something or someone. Then attraction. Then adoration. After that, suppression of mundane desires. And then single-mindedness and satisfaction. And last, supreme love towards God. It is totally desireless. Types of bhakti: Shakam bhakti, Niskam bhakti, Apara bhakti, and Para bhakti. Shakam bhakti is devotion with desire for material gains, whereas Nishkam bhakti desireless devotion. Apara bhakti, this is for beginners in yoga. They decorate an image with flowers and garlands, rings the bell, offers naivedya, food offerings, wave lights. He observes rituals and ceremonies. Para bhakti, the highest forms of bhakti. He sees the Lord and Lord alone everywhere and feels his power manifest as the entire universe. According to Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Vishnu Purana, there are 9 forms of bhakti. Shravana, hearing of God's leelas and stories. Kirtana, singing of his glories. Smarana, remembrance of his name and presence. Padasheva, service of his feet. Archana, worship of God. Vandana, prostration of Lord. Dashya, cultivating the vana of a servant with God. Shakya, cultivating of great bhava. And Atma Nivedana, complete surrender of the self. Now, the contemporary practices of yoga. Hatha Yoga. The word Hatha is a compound of the words Ha and Tha. Ha and Tha, meaning sun and moon, referring to prana and apana, and also to the principal nadis. Nari means energy channels of the subtle body that must be fully operational to attain a state of dhyana or samadhi. The word Ha refers to the solar nari, Pingala. It is known as Pingala in the subtle body, and Tha, the lunar channel. It is known as Ida. However, when the two components of the word are placed together, Hatha means forceful, implying that powerful work must be done to purify the body. Hatha yoga is meant to join together Sun or Shiva, masculine or active energy, with the moon or Shakti to feminine receptive energy. This union produces balance and greater power in an individual. It follows the same principles as Patanjali's eight-lined path or Ashtanga yoga, including moral restraint yama and spiritual observance niyama. Next one is Kundalini yoga. Kundalini yoga is a physical and meditative discipline within Hatha yoga. Kundalini yoga is a pure spiritual science that leads to means awakening of inner knowledge enlightenment. It is a biological mechanism linking the activity of the reproductive system and the brain. Now, kosha or seeds of being. According to Vedantic philosophy, a kosha usually rendered seed. It is a covering of the Atma or self. There are 5 koshas, and they are often visualized as the layers of an onion in the subtle body. The 5 seeds, summarized with the term Pancha Kosha, are described in the Taittiriya Upanishad. The koshas grows from gross anatomy to subtle anatomy. The outermost kosha is Annamaya Kosha or food body. Then Pranamaya Kosha, energy body. Manomaya Kosha, mind body. Vigyanmaya Kosha, wisdom body. And Anandamaya Kosha, bliss body, is the innermost kosha. There is some detailing of these koshas. Annamaya Kosha is food apparent seat. It is related with physical body and asana. Output is stability. Next one is Pranamaya Kosha, air apparent seat, energy body. It is related with prana or energy. Output is vitality. Manomaya Kosha, mind stuff apparent seat. It is related with mental or mind or manas. It makes clarity. Vigyanmaya Kosha, wisdom apparent seat. It is related with intellectual body or Vijnana or intellect. The output is wisdom. And last one is Anandamaya Kosha, bliss apparent seat. It is related with bliss body or bliss. The output is consciousness or bliss or Ananda. Next is chakra. In yoga, chakras are energy spirals that exist within the subtle body. Meeting point of two main nadis, streams, and prana, life force, which creates the current. Nadis are the channels along which prana flows through the body. It is located in the subtle body or pranamaya kosha. Traditionally, it is said to be that 72,000 nadis are in the subtle body. 3 are the most important among them: Ida, Pingala and Sushumna. Ida Nadi starts with Muladhara chakra and terminates in the left nostril, stimulating the right side of the brain. It is related with feminine or lunar energy. The output is softness. It is the mental nadis. Facilitates meditation. Breathe to flow more freely in the left nostril. Then Pingala Nadi. It starts from the Muladhara chakra and terminates in the right nostril, stimulating the left nadi of the brain. Masculine or solar energy, vitality, physical strength and efficiency. It facilitates physical activities. Breathe through the right nostril. Then Sushumna Nadi. It passes through the spinal column, originating at the base of the body and terminating at the top of the skull. although considered the most important nadi, and it is dormant. Sushumna will only flow when movement in the Ida and Pingala is suspended or perfectly balanced. The occurrence of this perfect balance or suspension happens during Samadhi. 7 primary chakras run up the spine. 2 poles for the 3 main nadis are Muladhara chakra and Angna chakra. It is only Sushumna that goes all the way up to Sahasra chakra. 7 main chakras are connected to specific organs, glands and body systems. Each chakra is connected to a color vibration frequency. Now, 7 chakras are Muladhara, the base chakra, root support. The element of this chakra is earth, foundation of the spiritual journey which ends at the crown chakra. Swadhisthana, the sacral chakra, sacral, one's own place. The element is water. It is related to genitourinary system and adrenals. Manipura, the solar plexus chakra, solar plexus. Its element is fire. It is related to metabolic and digestive systems. Anahata, the heart chakra. Love, unity, social awareness. The element is air. It is related to thymus, which is an element of the immune system. Vishuddha, the throat chakra. The element is ether. It is related to communication and growth through expression. Angna, the brow chakra, third eye chakra. It is linked to the pineal gland, which regulates sleep and waking up, inside vision, single point focus. Sahasra chakra or the crown chakra, infinite awareness, consciousness, limitless awareness, may be seen similarly to the pituitary gland, which secretes hormones to communicate to the rest of the endocrine system. The chakras is described here. Muladhara chakra, the first one is Muladhara chakra. It is located here and the element is earth. Then Swadhisthana, it is the second chakra, one's own place. It is related to genitourinary system or adrenals. The element is water. Then Manipura, the third chakra, Manipura, it is related to digestive system. Anahata is related to heart. Vishuddha, it is related to throat, and Angna, the third eye chakra or third eye or brow chakra, and then the Sahasra or seventh chakra. It is the last or the ultimate chakra. Cosmic consciousness is the thing which should be happen in this chakra. This is a distinctive description of each chakras with their specific element, mantra, karmendriya and gyanendriya. First chakra, Muladhara, the base chakra. Its element is earth, mantra, lamp, karmendriya, eliminating, gyanendriya, smelling. The second chakra, Swadhisthana, the sacral chakra. Its element is water, mantra, Vayam, karmendriya, procreating, and gyanendriya is tasting. Third chakra, Manipura, the solar plexus chakra. Its element is fire, mantra, Ram, karmendriya, moving, gyanendriya, seeing. Fourth chakra, Anahata, the heart chakra. Its element is air, mantra is Yam, karmendriya holding, gyanendriya touching. Fifth one is Vishuddha, the throat chakra. Element is space, mantra Ham, karmendriya speaking, gyanendriya hearing. Sixth chakra, Angna, the brow chakra. Element is mind, mantra is Om. Karmendriya and gyanendriya both are mind. Seventh or last chakra is Sahasra chakra, the crown chakra. The element is consciousness. Mantra is silence. Both Karmendriya and Gyanendriya are consciousness. Now, in this slide, there is a total description of kosha, 8 lines of Patanjali, and chakras. Kosha, seats of being, as we go through these koshas: Annamaya kosha, Pranamaya kosha, Manomaya kosha, Vigyanmaya kosha, and Anandamaya kosha. Then the 8 lines of Patanjali: Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. And the chakras are Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddha, Angna, Sahasra. So the thing is that koshas, chakras, 8 lines of Ashtanga Yoga, divisions of Raj Yoga are very important topic from yoga philosophy for UGC NET exam. I will provide previous year's questions with answer, and will try to provide detailed description of each question. I have tried my best to cover up yoga philosophy. Hopefully this lecture will be helpful to you. Thank you.